25% off on any new preferred order. Start your journey to better health today by calling 1-800-2468-751 or by going to balanceofnature.com. Again, that's balanceofnature.com. And make sure to receive Health System. We are ready to help. If you're feeling sick, visit mountsinai.org to access all of our virtual care options, and we'll get you the right care for your needs. All of us at Mount Sinai across the New York region and Long Island are here for you.
More than ever, we need to laugh. Good thing the radio.com app brings the funny. On radio.com, you can listen to your favorite hometown morning show wherever you are, or non-stop stuff on the Comedy Now channel. And hilarious podcasts like Curious with Josh Peck and IDT with Chris Hardwick. All available 24/7 and all just a click away. So come on, lighten up and laugh a little, or a lot. Radio.com on your desktop or download the free app now.
It is 58 degrees and sunny. We're going up to 62 in Midtown. Winds Newtown 11:15. Of course, all of the major sports leagues have suspended play for the outbreak. Our 10-10 Wins coverage continues. One of the things that is going on is the NFL draft, virtually. Here are the latest players. Our local shows. The Giants in their round 2 pick. Number 4 was Javier McKinney of Alabama. Round 3 pick 35, Matt Pert, an offensive tackle out of UConn. But the Jets, round 3, pick 4, Ashton Davis of Southern California. And in round 3, pick 15, Jabari Zuniga of Florida. He's a defensive end. Winds Newtown 11:16. Well, did you get a stimulus check? Experts have some advice if you haven't gotten it yet.
The first wave of checks has gone out to taxpayers who filed this year and last year using direct deposit. Now, the second wave is for Social Security recipients who don't have to file tax returns. If the IRS doesn't have your direct deposit information, your check will be mailed starting the first week of May. And if you want to track your check online, search IRS stimulus payments. That will lead you to the link you need. Evan Haining, Washington.
The former captain of the USS Theodore Roosevelt may soon be at the helm again. Captain Brett Crozier relieved of duty after raising the alarm about a coronavirus outbreak on his ship. But the head of the Navy is now recommending to Defense Secretary Mark Esper that he get his job back. Correspondent Martha Raddatz has been following this.
The Defense Secretary wants to take a few days before he decides whether to accept the Navy's recommendation to reinstate Captain Crozier. There has been one Roosevelt sailor who died from COVID, and more than 800 sailors tested positive, including the captain, who remains in Guam.
Acting Navy Secretary Thomas Modly ended up resigning just days after Crozier was fired earlier this month. Well, they're looking for a robber on roller skates in Nassau. Police say this guy on blades wheeled into the Dunkin' Donuts on North Broadway and last night, bought a coffee. likes to play 10-10 wins, and yeah, now more than ever, let's stay connected.
The News Watch never stops. This is 10-10 Wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning. 58 degrees at 11:20. I'm Kathleen Marble-Calv, and here's what's happening. Ask his honor. Mayor de Blasio started taking questions on Twitter this morning. He'll answer them on Instagram. A shocking toll that is still rising. More than 51,000 Americans have died of coronavirus, more than 16,000 in the city. Costs rising too. Coronavirus relief efforts sending the federal deficit up. Coronavirus devastates Louisiana. Experts trying to figure out why it is proving so much deadlier there. 10-10 Wins AccuWeather, morning sun, afternoon clouds, high 62. 11:21. Traffic in transit with Bill Powell.
We will head back to the Bronx, where if you're going to be traveling westbound on the Bronx, you do have some road work causing some slowdowns for you. Seeing a little bit of a slowdown right now as well on the Cross Bronx Expressway. This is going to be as you travel up in towards Southern Boulevard, and on the Deegan, you've got road work as you travel by Yankee Stadium on the northbound side, southbound side by Fordham Road, which can cause a little brake tapping for you. Into Manhattan, FDR Drive, Harlem Drive combo in good shape. No major problems to report right now on the West Side Highway. Do keep in mind over on West Street, though, as you head in towards Horatio Street, we do have some road work on the southbound side. Here's what you need to know about your bridges and tunnels. Not a lot. Cheadle Bridge, Lincoln, Holland tunnels, all moving without much delay. Your eastern crossings appear to be in good shape, and we've got alternate side of the street parking rules suspended. I'm Bill Powers. Your next report is coming up at 11:31 on 10-10 Wins.
Got a question for the mayor? Ask it on Twitter. He's scrapping the daily briefing Saturday only with the goal of taking questions from everyday New Yorkers.
I want to offer my promise to all New Yorkers of all faiths, of all backgrounds, in every neighborhood, in every borough. I will be there for you. I will keep communicating with you. I will keep telling you what's really going on.
His honor is set to answer the questions and videos to be posted on Instagram later today. Oh, and speaking of regular briefings, Governor Cuomo has his set for 11:30. We will, of course, bring it to you live right here on 10-10 Wins. And the toll continues to rise in a shocking way. The nationwide toll is 51,000 people dead of coronavirus, at least 905,000 cases. In the city, 16,600 New Yorkers have died, at least 150,000 confirmed cases. New York State is 21,000 deaths, 272,000 confirmed cases. New Jersey has 5,600 cases. Bergen and Essex counties the hardest hit, at least 102,000 confirmed cases. In Connecticut, more than 1,700 people have died, nearly 24,000 confirmed cases. Wins News Time 11:23. Connecticut's governor is looking toward what happens next. Ned Lamont says it's still going to be a few weeks before they do anything.
I told people of Connecticut May 20th we're going to be able to give you a roadmap on how we slowly get back to normalcy. Between now and then, I'm going to have a lot more protective gear, a lot more masks. We'll have a lot more testing, so we'll know what the nature of the pandemic is. And at that point, we can build on what type of small businesses, retail businesses we might be able to reopen.
In Nassau County, they're getting some federal help. The county exec Laura Kern says it won't be enough to fix the damaged economy, and they're hoping to get more assistance. Many states and municipalities are asking for additional federal help as they try to recover from the economic devastation. And we're going to be paying for this for a while. The coronavirus pandemic will eventually end, but the nation will face a legacy of massive deficits.
The Congressional Budget Office is projecting the deficits will grow to $3.7 trillion this year, largely fueled by the 4 coronavirus relief packages. With 6 months left in the current fiscal year, the bills will pile more than $2 trillion onto the $24.6 trillion national debt. The report predicts a devastating hit to the economy this quarter at an annualized rate of decline of 40%. For the entire year, the economy is predicted to shrink by 5.6%. The director of the Congressional Budget Office warns that there's enormous uncertainty in the projections, but says it's plain the economic shock is unlike anything seen since the Great Depression. Jackie Quinn, Washington.
New Jersey's municipal court system is getting ready to start moving again. State Supreme Court order issued yesterday allows municipal courts to resume work by phone or video if all parties agree. Proceedings are set to resume remotely May 11th where possible. There are also extended suspension suspension of grand juries till May 31st and the indefinite suspension of criminal and civil trials. Of course, it's TintinWin.com for all the information you need to stay connected through the coronavirus outbreak. Wednesday, 11:25.
Small businesses are grappling with the impact of these uncertain times and looking for resources. That's why Dell Technologies assembled an all-star lineup of podcasters to create the first-ever virtual conference to share advice and inspiration for small businesses. Dell Technologies is here, from keeping you connected while working remotely with Windows 10 and Microsoft Teams to providing relevant content for businesses. Search Dell Technologies Small Business Conference on radio.com, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts starting May 1st.
At Stop and Shop, we are thankful that we are able to serve our communities. And we would like to ask you to help us protect one another. Please shop solo when you come to our stores as we limit our number of customers. Please respect the one-way traffic in the aisle. And stay at least 6 feet away from others. And please join our associates in wearing a mask. From all of us at Stop and Shop, thank you.
Wednesday, 11:26 now, Bloomberg Money Watch.
The use of no-touch mobile payments, which once struggled to catch on in the U.S., is now surging as people see their phones as a safer way to pay in a pandemic.
Payments and access to cash is an essential service. If you can do that safely without touching something, you're better off.
Richard Crone, CEO of mobile payment research firm Crone Consulting, says contactless payments had already risen by a substantial amount in recent years.
But this is going to increase person-to-person and contactless payments by another 10 to 20%.
Restaurants, including Denny's, have already gone touch-free in some states. And
In the quarter
there are
mile,
still people
take the
scheduled
interchange
to
on the right.
receive coronavirus relief payments in the form of paper checks. The Treasury Department is considering letting people who don't have bank accounts receive their checks through person-to-person services like PayPal and Venmo. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and
Take the
56
interchange
at
on the
every
right.
hour. I'm Renita Young for 1010 Win.
Wednesday, 11:27.
To all first responders and essential personnel,
I'd like to thank Matt Stiles, part of the MTA police in Staten Island, and all his fellow workers. Stay safe and thank you.
I'd like to thank Fernando at Bellevue Hospital for his courage and strength. Let him know that he's appreciated. And I'd like to thank all the doctors and all the nurses in keeping us safe during this terrible time.
call 855-475-1010 to leave your message of appreciation. 1010 wins, helping us all stay connected.
With Advanced Auto Parts, you can get the part you need from the comfort of your garage. We have a wide variety of parts in stock, and you can get them fast. Order online with Advanced Same Day, and get the part with same-day pickup in-store, same-day curbside, or same-day delivery. It's the fastest way to get the part you need, where you need it, when you need it. Advance your auto at Advanced Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details. For the ones we trust to always be there. People step up, like the ones standing guard and standing on the front line, and the ones who are staying apart while still working together. With your efforts, we will get through this. We're grateful for everything you do, and we'll always be here to help you do it. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Wednesday, 11:28. A special report with the latest developments in the coronavirus outbreak less than 2 minutes away, right here on 1010 Win.
Did you know that a commercial driver's license can earn you more money plus benefits? Learn to drive trucks, buses, and tractor trailers at Ferrari Driving School, where they've been teaching safe driving since 1968. There are training centers in Queens, Brooklyn, and the Bronx. Free permit preparation course. Restrictions apply. Call 718-278-6679. Get your license in less than 1 month. Open 7 days a week. Payment plans and free training are available if you qualify. Get CDL Lifetime Job Placement Assistance through Ferrari Driving School. Hey, taxi drivers, looking for a safe driving job that will earn you more money? CDL is your answer. 718-278-6679. And yes, they also train on car, motorcycle, scooter, and forklift. Save 10% on your insurance and reduce points by taking their defensive driving course. Call now. Get started today. 718-278-6679 or visit FerrariDrivingSchool.com.
Take the exit on the right.
It is 58 degrees right now, fair in the city. AccuWeather says we're going up to 62 today in Midtown. Partly sunny today, some clouds coming in this afternoon, and this is the good day. The full forecast coming up in just minutes. 58 degrees right now. Good morning. I'm Kathleen Marple-Kalb. Winds east out of the tone, 11:30.
Good morning, I'm Brian Britton. We are awaiting Governor Cuomo's daily live press briefing here on 1010 Winds. When he begins speaking, we will bring that to you, of course, live right now, updating you on the most current numbers of COVID-19 in New York State. Just over 250,000 cases, fatalities numbering in New York State, 22,411. Here in the city, there have been 16,646 fatalities. We get a national perspective now. For that, we turn to ABC News.
Some businesses are reopening in Georgia, South Carolina, and Texas. Others to reopen soon. They're lifting coronavirus restrictions even as we're seeing a surge in COVID-19 cases in other states. ABC's Trevor Roll.
Just overnight in Massachusetts, they added almost 5,000 new positive test results to their total. That was caused by both a surge in cases and also a backlog from a testing facility that was making a reporting error earlier in the month that they've now corrected.
The U.S. surpassing 51,000 coronavirus deaths. The U.K. announcing that it's become the 5th country to surpass 20,000 deaths. President Trump pushing back against criticism over his comments about people possibly using disinfectants to treat the virus, saying he was being sarcastic. Encouraging news from New York City. The Navy hospital ship the Comfort that was brought there to help with the surge in cases. Officials say it's no longer needed and will depart this week, but New York stay-at-home order continues until at least May 15th. Dave Packard, ABC News.
And we are monitoring the live feed from Albany as soon as Governor Cuomo begins speaking. We will bring that to you right now, though, at 11:31. Traffic and transit, we check in with Bill Powers.
First stop, 1010 Winds Transit Desk, northbound A trains, making regular stops Brooklyn through to Manhattan after the crew removed the shopping cart from the tracks. So that's good news. Elsewhere, essential service plan for you on all of mass transit, so keep that in mind if you're going to be traveling around. And, of course, masks must be on. Traveling in the 5 boroughs, overall, we are really not bad at all. We have a little road work for you in Staten Island, westbound side of the Staten Island Expressway heading in towards Clove Road. We also have a little road work for you over on the Deegan. This is going to be on the northbound side as you approach the Cross Bronx Expressway, southbound side by Fordham Road. Some road work for you there. Some slowdowns over on the Bruckner westbound side, heading towards 138th Street. Right now through Queens, LIE, Grand Central, Van Wyck, you name it, everything's moving along fairly well for you, which is very good news. And of course, alternate side of the street parking rules remain suspended. I'm Bill Powers. Your next report is coming up at 11:41 on 1010 Winds.
We know the official 1010 Winds AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Get a live update. Say good morning to AccuWeather's Dave Powers.
And good morning. And a nice day it is, too. Lots of sunshine at this hour, very little wind. We'll get into the low 60s here this afternoon. Tonight, it's going to be mostly cloudy. We've got a storm rolling through southeastern Missouri at the moment. That's going to be pushing rain in here toward daybreak, low about 46. So not a nice day tomorrow. Windy, chilly, rain much of the time. Some of that could come down pretty hard. Temperatures generally hanging in the upper 40s. Monday, on the back side of it, there'll still be a few leftover showers and a chilly breeze and a high about 49. And we're back to the nice weather on Tuesday. Currently 58 degrees, mostly sunny in Central Park, going up to 62 in Midtown. I'm Edie Brown with Dave Powers on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts for our spring break deals on lawn and garden batteries, wiper blades, brake kits, and more. Kick off the season right with fresh batteries for your lawn gear. For a limited time, purchase any Superstart lawn and garden battery and get a $10 gift card after mail-in rebate. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
While you can't believe everything on social media these days, you can believe it's possible to start a new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months from the comfort of your own home, even if you have zero computer experience. Instead of waiting to see what happens when life gets back to normal, take control of your future now. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Live online classes meet just twice a week. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Winds news time, 11:34. We are awaiting today's live press briefing from Governor Cuomo up in Albany. As soon as he begins speaking, we will bring it to you live. Currently 58 degrees. We're headed up to 62 fair skies. Feels good outside right now. Louisiana Republican Senator Bill Cassidy, who is also a medical doctor, gastroenterologist, is now joining the Trump administration's newest task force.
I had the privilege of being added to the President's task force on reopening the economy. I spoke of the need to balance between the physical and the financial. We've got to come out of the COVID-19 crisis. Until we have fewer people getting the disease, that won't happen.
Officials in Louisiana also reporting a death toll that's exceeding their own predictions and is much higher than even neighboring states. At last count, Louisiana had 26,000 cases, more than 1,600 fatalities. Officials there say they are working on increasing testing. More money is coming for small businesses. Another $310 billion. Federal government Protection Program. That's the program that was shut down back on April 16th when the first $349 billion was spent. That was money that was earmarked for small businesses. Some of that, though, return that money. The money technically is a loan. Does not have to be paid back, though, if it is immediately used to make payroll expenses. When the stay-at-home orders went into effect, many locations just closed up shop. Now, a new problem, though, brewing in the beer industry.
Millions of gallons of beer sitting in empty stadiums, concert halls, restaurants, and pubs are quickly going stale. According to the Wall Street Journal, the coronavirus pandemic forced bars to close ahead of two big drinking occasions: St. Patrick's Day and the March Madness basketball tournament. Draft beer typically stays fresh for 2 to 6 months. Manufacturers are trying to deal with 10 million gallons of beer trapped in closed venues in March alone. Even more is sitting in warehouses and breweries and could cost the industry $1 billion as it looks for ways to safely dispose of the expiring beer. I'm Ann Case.
Winds due time 11:36. We're going to go live up to Albany now. Governor Cuomo has begun his press briefings.
Then we're going to take the girls hiking up at Thatcher State Park, bring the dog, get out of the house, hike until they are fatigued and exhausted, because exhaustion is our friend. Total hospitalizations, down again. You look at that overall curve, that is the mountain, little perspective. We are back where we were 21 days ago. 21 days of hell. But we're back to where we were. What we need to find out is when we will be back to the point where only several hundred people showed up at the hospitals every day with a COVID infection. That's what we want to see. We want to know how fast that decline continues and how low the decline gets. And we would like to get back to the days of only 400, 500 people showing new infections every day. All the numbers are basically saying the same, that we are in fact on the downside of the mountain. I've always been worried that there's a little tick up and that there'd be some evidence that we're not on decline, but all the evidence says we're on decline. Even the number of new cases actually ticked down yesterday after being stable for a number of days. It's down to about 1,100 new cases. Only in this crazy reality would 1,100 new cases be relatively good news, right? Again, we'd like to see that down into the 200, 300, 400 new cases per day. A good day. This reality slaps you right in the face. The 437 deaths yesterday, which is actually a tick up. This number is, as you can see, call it flat with a slight decline if you're looking for a silver lining. Horrific news. Testing is what we are compulsively and aggressively focused on now. Both diagnostic testing, which is a positive negative, the antibody testing. We do about 20,000 tests per day, average. It's up and down a little bit depending on the day. We had a great meeting with the federal government this week and came up with a division of responsibility. I spoke to the other governors about it yesterday with the vice president on a all governors conference call. spoke about the arrangement with the federal government. I hope the federal government and the other governors follow that template because it's a template that makes sense. We always said this was a federal-state partnership, and the president said that he understood the federal government had a role. We came up with a division of responsibility, which is basically the states take responsibility for the labs in their state and getting those labs functioning. We regulate those labs, and the federal government would take the responsibility of making sure the national manufacturers had the tests, the reagents, the vials, the swabs, all the equipment that the national manufacturer needs to be able to send to our labs so our labs can actually function. Our labs have these highly sophisticated machines that they bought from national manufacturers, but the machine requires the test kit and the reagents specifically for that machine. It's like you buy a printer from a company for your computer, like a color printer, but the printer requires cartridges from that company. You can have a fancy printer, but if you can't get the replacement cartridges, that printer is a paperweight, right? So we need the national manufacturers to have the reagents, the test kits, and that's what the federal government is doing. But it's working here in New York, so we're seeing the number of tests increase, and we want to get it stabilized and up. New York State is already doing more tests than anyone, because we did get into this first. We were aggressive. We were pushing the line. So we're actually doing more tests per capita than any country around the world, let alone any state in the United States. As we're increasing the capacity of the labs, okay, so now our 300 labs are getting more equipment, more supplies, they can do more tests. Now we need more collection mechanisms, more places to collect the test data so they can send it to the labs, right? It goes collection, then send those samples to the labs run those samples, get the results back to the people. We have boosted the lab capacity to an extent where we need more collection sites now. So where do you get collection sites? We're going to authorize all the independent pharmacists in the state to be collection sites for testing. I assume, and my guess, and my educated guess, is that independent pharmacists will take us up on this. And there are 5,000 pharmacies in New York State. Some of them have already been doing it, some of the larger national chains, but if your local drugstore can now become a collection site, people could go to their local drugstore. There are about 5,000 in New York. They would be collection sites that would quickly ramp up our collection capacity. So we're doing that. And since we now have more collection sites, more testing capacity, we can open up the eligibility for those tests, right? We had a protocol with eligibility. Not everybody could get a test. And that's been a big complaint across the board. Everybody wants a test, and they couldn't get tests because we had a tight screen on the eligibility because we had limited capacity to test. As you increase the capacity to test, you can increase the eligibility. And first responders, healthcare workers, and essential employees. Why? Because these people have been carrying the load, and they have been subjected to the public all during this crisis, and because they're public-facing, right? These are the people who you interact with. You get on a bus, this is the bus driver. You get in a subway car, this is the subway conductor. You are interacting with government, these are the people who you're interacting with. If they're infected, they could possibly spread it to a large number of people. So we're dramatically increasing capacity with these groups. For the first responders, firefighters, paramedics, EMTs, police officers, state, local, county, sheriffs, etc. Also correction, parole officers, probation officers, people who are in the prisons. They can now go to the increased number of collection sites in the state. They're eligible to get a test. Healthcare workers, broad definition, direct care providers, healthcare practitioners, medical specialists, occupational therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, residential care program managers. So if you're working in a residential facility, mental health facility, etc., community group residents, you're now able to get a test. And quote-unquote essential workers are the people who've been keeping everything running. You know, when we say we closed down the economy, we didn't really close down the economy, right? We closed down the economy relative to what the economy was doing. But you still go to the store and buy groceries. Your lights are still on, right? Someone is picking up the garbage in front of your house. So those essential workers have been functioning all along. And these essential workers, and God bless them, we want to make sure they are now eligible for tests, again, because they've been working all along. They've been exposed. And also because when you go in to the cleaner, this is the person on the other side of the counter who's interacting with dozens of people a day. So we want to make sure those people get tested. As we continue to develop our testing capacity and the labs are coming up to scale, the collection sites are opening, the more testing we have, the more we will open eligibility. Hopefully one day we get to the point where anybody who wants a test can walk in and get a test, right? That was the dream. But we found out quickly that we couldn't do that. You have 19 million people in the state. So we had to prioritize. We're still prioritizing, but we're opening up that prioritization. The more capacity, the more tests, the more we'll open the eligibility criteria. We're also focused on our healthcare workers and first responders. We're doing antibody testing for our frontline healthcare workers. And we're starting today, coming up to scale with 4 facilities in downstate New York. Obviously, downstate New York handled the bulk of the cases, not just in this state, but in this nation. So we're going to those hospitals that had a large number of COVID cases come in, and we're doing antibody testing there as quickly as we can and to the largest scale that we can. Elmhurst Hospital was one of the city's, New York City's public hospitals. When we talk about hospitals down, there are about 100 hospitals. About 11 of the 100 are what's called public hospitals. New York City runs them as part of their Health and Hospitals Corporation. Hospitals really saw a large number of people, and they were under stress. They were under stress, frankly, even before the COVID situation. But Elmhurst Hospital, which made national news for the number of cases they were handling, Bellevue, Montefiore, SUNY Downstate, is now running a COVID-only hospital. So everybody in that hospital is a COVID patient. And you want to talk about God's work, that's where it's happening. We want to get them the antibody testing. And we're also going to do significant antibody testing in downstate New York with those frontline transit workers also. People have been working for the MTA, they're transit workers union members. They've kept the city operational. You need those buses and you need those subways. If you want to have the hospitals running, if you want to have the grocery stores running, those employees have to be able to get to work. And the MTA in transit workers, and then the police, the first responders who are out there because we have to be safe, and we have to be safe even during COVID. So continue straight. number of levels. They're not getting a paycheck. Their life is on hold. Is my business going to come back? Do I have a job at the end of this? My whole life has been disoriented. I can't take it anymore. I get it. I really do fundamentally get it. This has been a god-awful situation on many, many levels. And many people, I'm sure, are saying this in their own way. So who said it to me is not important. But it was one of my daughters. So I won't tell you which one, though. That's private. I get the feeling. Today is day 56. We're 56.
Destination will be on the right. Your destination is on the right.